have been friends since we were kids. We both said we were gonna be friends forever, no matter what. In high school, she became more pretty and really popular. She always had the spotlight when we were together. One day, she told me she wanted to stop being friends with me. I asked her why she wanted to stop being friends. She told me I wasn't pretty enough to be seen with her. When school ended, I followed her home, and that time she was seen me in the basement. It was like they were hiding something from me. Later that night, my parents went to a party. Once they left, I decided to sneak in their room and get the basement key. I went downstairs to the basement. When I opened the basement, I saw my parents.
She's had acne growing up. I would do everything and anything to get rid of it. My friend, on the other hand, her skin was perfectly clear. I had the longest skincare routine while she had the smallest. All she did was wash her face and use a gua sha. I was bound to be jealous. One day while I was staring at my acne, I thought of an idea. I would put bleach on her gua sha. One night we were doing our skincare together. She left to go get something. I don't know what, but then my plan came into action. I drenched the gua sha in bleach. She then used it and screamed in terror. I laughed. I laughed so hard. When I saw her face, there were burns all over.
This is Layla. She lives alone in her big mansion and feels lonely sometimes. She decides to go for a run like she does every night. As she's running, she feels herself out of breath and grabs some water. She then heads back to her house as it is getting dark. She then decides to take a hot shower after her long run. After she washes her face to feel refreshed, a message was written on her mirror. She smiled at the thought, but then realized she lived alone.
Everyone says my school is haunted, but I never believe them because nothing ever happens. So one day my friend dared me to sneak into the school at night and stay there overnight, and she will give me $100. I usually would not agree to something like this, but I needed the money. So later on I packed everything up and went to the school. The doors were unlocked for some reason, so I just went through them. I decided to set up camp beside the bleachers, since that was the warmest spot. I had to video call my friend every hour, so she made sure I was in the school and didn't sissy out. Everything was going fine until I heard someone. I quickly hid as I thought it was the security guard, but it was not. It was him.
Since I was a baby, my parents always told me,
Don't look out the window at night, sweetie.
I would always ask them,
Why not?
but they would just shrug it off with an uneasy smile. As I grew older, I stopped questioning it. Everyone else in my town also followed this weird tradition, so I thought it was normal. That was until I went to college, and the kids thought I was crazy. So during Christmas when I went to my parents' house, I remember them reminding me not to look out the window. I gave them a smile and a small chuckle before telling them,
I won't.
However, curiosity struck me the moment they left that room. As I sat in the dark, I came to a decision. I was gonna look out of the window, but just as my hand came to the sheer white curtain, I paused. My mind flashed to that one time when I was 12.
It was a dark and stormy night, and Anna was fast asleep when she was suddenly jolted awake by a persistent knocking sound. She rubbed her eyes, wondering if it was just her imagination, but the sound continued. It sounded like someone was knocking on her bedroom window. Anna cautiously got up and peered outside, but the street was deserted. The rain was lashing down heavily, and the wind was howling like a wild animal. Anna tried to shake off her unease and reasoned that it could be a branch or some other object hitting the window. As she turned around to walk back to her bed, she noticed that the knocking sound was not coming from outside, but rather from her mirror. As she drew closer to the mirror, she saw a faint outline of a creepy old woman behind the glass. The old woman's face was twisted into a hideous scowl, and her eyes were completely white, sending shivers down her spine. Mommy, where are you? It was a dark...
My town had a recent kidnapping, so I decided to learn Morse code to stay safe, in case I was the next victim, and needed a way to contact the police. But whenever it rains, the raindrops keep telling me to get out.